Greetings, Lucky Legends. Welcome to the dojo. My name is Lucky, this is Lucky Lad TV. I am your host for this video, and we're about to have our first PBL match against Dom and the Richmond Rayquazas. And I'm nervous. I would lie if I said I was not nervous. But we're gonna get on into this, and everything looks like it's recording properly, so. You already know the team that we brought, so I'm gonna cut the video here and I will be back when we're at team preview. See you soon. Alright guys, we are here. It is time to battle. I'm gonna close out of the Chinese chat because, well, I don't speak Chinese. And we're gonna get on into this. Here we go. Dom does not bring the Mega Sceptile or the Talonflame. The Hoopa did come, which I completely expected. I'm going to ignore Spectre's an opponent. So my opponent has the Hoopa, the Amoonguss, the Miltank, the Excadrill, the Hariyama, and the Vaporeon. Alright, let's see. Wait, what the fuck? Why is it already in Mega form? I don't fucking know. How is it already in Mega form? I don't know. I'm going to open up with Borealis, because I'm guessing my opponent's either going to open up with Hariyama or probably the Drill, though. My opponent actually opens up with the Amoonguss, which is pretty terrible, because we're probably about to catch a Spore. Probably about to catch a Spore. So there's not really anything I'd rather have asleep though, so I'm just going to go for the Calm Mind, as I'm sure I get. I did not get put to sleep. Interesting. But we do see Giga Drain on the Amoonguss. Giga Drain. And Amoonguss is bulky as shit. So I'm going to go for another Calm Mind. We may get put to sleep here. Clear Smog. My opponent does have the Clear Smog. Okay, so I'm going to write that down too. That is good to know. Clear Smog. But now I can just fire off... I can fire off Ice Beam. And that does virtually nothing, as now we get put to sleep. So now that this is asleep, I can switch out into Zeus. We get hit by a Giga Drain, that is just fine. And I can go for a Nasty Plot. And then proceed to do a lot of damage to something. My opponent switches out into the Hoopa. How much do we take from a Hyperspace Fury? Let's find out. Okay, so we're going to do Thundurus, Zeus. And wait, we don't have anything to hit him back with. We don't have anything to hit him back with. That's a bit of an issue. But Hoopa, let's just find out. Hoopa, level 50. Dark type. Dark type. With 160 base attack and 170 base special attack. Let's just say it's using Crunch, it doesn't really matter. And boost the power to 100. And, oh right, max attack, Adamant. That kills, obviously. However, it would have to be Scarf to outspeed us. But like I said, we don't really have anything to hit it with. I'm just going to switch out. It does get Gunk Shot though, which is a problem. I need to find out what kind of Hoopa this is, so I'm going to switch out into Borealis. It's asleep, so I'm not too worried. We get hit with the Ice Punch. And I'm going to try and go for the Signal Beam. My opponent hits me with the Dark Pulse, which does 38%, so we can live another one and hit this thing with the Signal Beam. If we wake up, we do not wake up. But it is a mixed Hoopa with Ice Punch and Dark Pulse. Ice Punch. Dark Pulse. But it is not Scarf, so I guarantee that I will outspeed it with my Cobalion. So I'm probably just going to let Borealis go down, because I don't really need it, although I could switch out into Cujo. I'm going to switch out into Cujo. How is it? This is... Why is it already Mega? How is it already Mega? What the fuck? How is it already Mega? How? I don't know. I don't know. Just kill it. Just kill it. Just kill it. I don't know why or how it's already Mega, but I'm just gonna let him kill me. I'm gonna try and go for a sub, and he can Drain Punch and kill me. Yeah, just kill me. Just kill me. It usually automatically... So I will have to change that. But now we can go out into our friend Cobalion and click X Scissor and kill this thing. As my opponent switches out into the Vaporeon. And that did a decent amount. But I'm going to Volt Switch out. I don't want to stay in here against the Vaporeon. And I'm going to go right out into... I can't go out into 151 because if he Scald burns me, I'm fucked. I'm just going to go out into Borealis and take the Scald. Or Surf. We take the Surf. Which means it should not have Scald. So Surf. And... I'm going to... He knows I don't have Rest. I'm sure he's figured that out. So he'll probably just go for Surf to kill me. I'm actually going to switch out into my Togetic. Take the Surf. Take that very well. And go for the Wish. Because ideally, I would like to pass the Wish to Suicune. However, an Ice Punch might kill us. I'm going to go give that fucker Ice Punch. Ice Punch, Ice Punch, Ice Punch. Ice Punch against Togetic. Togetic. Jackpot the Togetic. Ice Punch does not kill us. Wow. Togetic, you are bulky as fuck. You go for the Wish, get roared out into Suicune, interestingly enough. And Surf does not kill us from this range. So I'm going to go for the Calm Mind because we should wake up here. As my opponent go... Why did we not wake up? Why? Why? I really don't know why we didn't wake up. But I'm going to fire off an Ice Beam. Actually, yeah, an Ice Beam. I know it's not going to do that much. As we get put back to sleep. Fantastic. And I'm going to actually try and fire off Scalds. Try and burn this thing. And I sacrificed my Houndoom because it was not correct. It was supposed to be, you know, regular Houndoom. And then Mega Evolve. But it was not. He knows I have Signal Beam. Let's try and go for Signal Beam. We live that. We wake up. We fire off the signal beam. Wow, he takes that really well. I think he is assault vested. Dark Pulse will take us down. But it will not take down Cobalion. And now we have the Justified boost. So, I'm going to calc this. I want to know if Close Combat kills. Cobalion. Cobalt. We are at +1. Does Close Combat kill? Holy fuck! Close Combat kills. We don't have anything for the Amoonguss, but Close Combat destroys. As the Hariyama comes in, Hariyama is not taking that. Hariyama is not taking that. I'm going to go for the Iron Head. Hariyama goes down. And Cobalt is here to tear through my opponent's team. Oh, Cobalt! You beautiful, beautiful beast. The Drill comes in. I think we live in EQ, though, if it's Scarfed. I'm going to check. Extra Drill. Blank Set. 252. Adamant. Earthquake. No, not... no, we do not live. Close Combat absolutely annihilates it, but we do not live. Especially not with lowered defenses. I can't... Oh. So... my opponent has to be Scarfed. My opponent has to be Scarfed. That's the only reasonable explanation. And I also know that I will outspeed my opponent's entire team with Zeus. And fire off a Psychic and take a Amoonguss out. So I'm guessing he has Rock Slide. I don't think Rock Slide would kill, though. I really don't. Rock Slide. It might. Excadrill has crazy high attack. But let's find out. Thundurus. Zeus. Oh yeah, Rock Slide. Rock Slide destroys us. Rock Slide absolutely destroys us. So I'm going to switch out into Borealis. Because, yeah, there's the Rock Slide. And now we can fire off a free, well, not free. I have to think about my play here. My opponent could easily stay in, but I don't think he will. I'm guessing my opponent will switch out into Vaporeon, because it pretty much walls me completely. I'm going to switch out into Cobalt. My opponent switches out into the Vaporeon, I switch out into my good friend Cobalt. And my opponent does not have Scald. I can't imagine my opponent has Scald. So I can just fire off Close Combat. That does a good amount. We're going to take a Surf to the face. I don't like taking that Surf to the face. And the next one does not kill. Instead, I want to go back out into Borealis. I really need a safe switch in. That's the issue here. My opponent goes for the Wish. My opponent has Wish as well, which is good to know. As now, my opponent no longer has the Amoonguss, so I can go for Calm Minds. Hoopa comes in. Calm Mind goes off. My opponent is back at full. And Signal Beam will not do that much. I'm pretty sure this Hoopa is AV. I really, really, really think so. So I'm going to go back to the Hoopa. No, Hoopa. Blank Set. Assault Vest. Uninvested, let's say. Psychic Dark, level 50. And I need Borealis. Oh, Suicune. Suicune, Borealis. The Signal Beam at +1. +1. Does 56.7 to 67%. So it should be a 2-hit KO. So I'm going to go for it. My opponent does go for the Drain Punch. As we fire off the Signal Beam, it does do... I get the confusion. That is very fortunate. However, I don't believe it matters. Hoopa does outspeed, but it's not going to get enough health back from Drain Punch. My opponent switches out into the Vaporeon. Takes virtually nothing, obviously. And I can actually Calm Mind up again. Because I can take anything that the Vaporeon wants to go for. It can roar me out. I'm fully aware of that. At this point, I'm actually going to just fire off an Ice. Signal Beam's still my best play. It doesn't do very much. We get roared out into Zeus, which is fantastic. Because we can go for... Actually, we can double here. Because my opponent can't stay in. My opponent pretty much has to go out into the Excadrill. So I'm going to double into Suicune. Because I'm virtually certain my opponent will just go out into the Drill, predicting the Thunderbolt. My opponent roars again! Back out into Zeus. I need to check on something. Oh no, wait, we get destroyed by Excadrill. Doesn't matter. Excadrill's not low enough for Hidden Power Ice to kill. That's the problem. I'm going to fire one off anyway. My opponent stays in, goes for what? Roar again? Goes for Surf, which is way too much. So I'm just going to Thunderbolt. If my opponent switches out... I was about to say, if my opponent switches out here, he is a Lord. So the Surf goes off. Now Cobalt comes in and kills. Close combat. It will kill the Hoopa if it switches in. It will kill the Excadrill if it switches in. My opponent does go for the Protect. Get a little more leftovers recovery. But close combat kills. It kills and he needs a safe switch into his Excadrill. That's basically how it works now. But Miltank dies if it switches in. Hoopa dies if it switches in. And I outspeed Hoopa so I could change moves to X-Scissor if I want to. The Hoopa comes in. Hoopa's not living this. The crit did not matter. The crit did not matter. The crit really didn't matter. Because I outspeed. So my opponent goes out into the Drill. My opponent has to make a play here. I need Cobalion though. I can't let Cobalion go down. That's the problem. I have to go out into Togetic. I have to. My opponent does go for the EQ. Perfect! Vaporeon will probably come in now. I'm just going to Wish, and I'll pass it off to something. As my opponent will actually probably do the same. It'll probably go for Wish Protect. And I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam. It's not going to do much, but, you know, that's not why I went for it. I'm going to Wish one more time. And we actually outspeed this Vaporeon. No, we do not. The Vaporeon outspeeds us, which is good because that means we can get the slow Baton Pass off into our... What's that thing called? Into our Cobalion. So I'm going to go for the slow Baton Pass here. My opponent does go out into the Excadrill. And I'm going to go out into Borealis, because I can eat up any hit from this thing. There's that, there's that. And now... Excadrill can't one-shot me. It just can't. So my opponent would switch, and Scald would destroy it. I'm going to... My opponent could go for Earthquake. He could. I'm going to Scald. My opponent does switch out into the Vaporeon. I don't mind that, just because that's not... Vaporeon can't really do anything to us. It has Surf. That's it. So I'm just going to Calm Mind up. We do outspeed. My opponent will probably go for Surf or Roar. We know its entire set. And I can actually just Calm Mind up. My opponent can Roar me out, as he does. But now, I can go for a Rock Polish. We get Surfed. We eat that up. And now we can fire off an X Scissor, which does nothing. That does nothing! As we get sent out into Togekiss. This is going to take a while. It is. This is going to take a while. I'm going to go for the Wish. My opponent goes out into the Drill. Go for the Wish. I'm going to go for the slow Baton Pass. I want to see what my opponent does here. My opponent could go for the Iron Head. It won't kill me. My opponent goes for that, as we can now Baton Pass into... You can Baton Pass into Borealis. So my opponent is Scarfed into the Earthquake, and I know it's Scarfed. I really need to get damage off. I'm just going to go out into Borealis. We're going to catch the Wish. And I'm going to fire off an Ice Beam. That's really all I can do. Vaporeon comes in. Takes nothing. So I'm just going to Signal Beam. I need to lower this thing. It has too much health. It's a problem. I'm just going to fire off Dazzling Gleam. I need this thing to have much lower health than it does. The Miltank comes in. Takes 18%. Miltank has leftovers. What are you going to go for? I'm going to Wish. Curse Miltank. Okay. I don't really have a problem with that. I'm going to Dazzling Gleam you. I don't care if you curse. I really don't. Because that's doing a decent amount. Dazzling Gleam, Dazzling Gleam! And you can't even come close to one-shotting me. And I can just come in with Suicune and wreck your face. Because you don't have anything super effective. I'm really not worried about this. I'm really not. Just because of how incredibly slow it is. We get the crit. My opponent rests. Rest, Sleep Talk, Curse. That would just be my guess. Well, let's see if he has Sleep Talk or not. No. Oh yeah, Sleep Talk, Rest. Rest, Sleep Talk, Curse. I need to know what my opponent's last move is. I need to know that. That's very important information. Curse. Not its last move, obviously. Dazzling Gleam again. Opponent wakes up. Goes for Facade, which doesn't do much, obviously. As we can Dazzling Gleam here. Bring it down pretty low. And my opponent will probably rest here. So I'm going to switch out into this thing. My opponent does rest. So now I can go for close combat. And do nothing. Facade takes me out. Now I can go into Suicune. Fire off Scald. Oh, that's a problem. I think we're going to get swept by this Miltank. Or not. Wakes up, goes for Facade. Eat that. Let's see if we can get a burn here. No burn. Facade takes us out. Mew comes in and gets blown back. This is a problem. I'm not gonna lie. Go for the Dazzling Gleam. Do virtually nothing. My opponent goes for Rest. I hate Miltank. I go for Wish. Opponent gets the Facade. 151 comes in. Why didn't we catch the Wish? I want to go for X-Scissor, even though it's pretty much pointless. Yep, Facade. Doesn't take us out. We get like no HP back. Yeah, I can't kill this thing. This thing just wins. Yeah, this thing just wins. That was a good game to my opponent, Dom's Game Room, or Hi, I'm Dom. That was the preseason match. Obviously, some changes need to be made. And I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. It is very much greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm going to get about. Best luck out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.